Hello everybody, I'm Chris Segrell, Principal of Christ the King School, and I'm here with...
Amy Becker, Assistant Principal at Christ the King School.
And as always, we're just very happy to be here with you today. We've completed the first 4 weeks of school, which is amazing. It's gone incredibly well. We've had a few COVID exposures outside of the school. A parent, we had one of our teachers exposed outside of the school. Those things are going to happen. The good news is nothing has been exposed inside the school. Everything is really going well. The masks, the distancing, all the procedures, people are following them so well, and it's working. So we're so blessed about that. We're so happy and excited that the kids are back, the teachers are back, and everyone is truly doing an incredible job. So I just wanted to just acknowledge that, and it's just all of us working together that's making that work. Just a few quick announcements to make. First one is we have a remote learning lesson going out on Monday. Our teachers are going to be sending something home, and this is a video, a short video, an assignment that each one of our students in kindergarten through 8th grade will do at home on Monday, and watch the video, do the lesson or whatever the assignment is, send it in electronically. It's going to be something simple, it's going to be something quick, but we want to test our process. We want to make sure that everyone can do this from home. Because if we ever have to go to full remote learning, and we're very encouraged by how things are going right now, but we want to be ready just in case something like that were to happen. So this is kind of a test. It's a test to see if it works, see if everybody can log on to whatever device they have, can access these videos, watch them, do the assignment, and more importantly is submit everything at the end so the teachers get it. Please provide any feedback if you're running into any difficulty at all to your teachers. Don't let Mrs. Becker and I know. We need you to reach out to your teachers. So they are going to be giving us feedback overall. So just let your teachers know if you have any problem. If things are working, they're going to get your assignment, they're going to know it worked. So that's all you need to do with that. But we want to make any adjustments, we want to fix any glitches. We'll be probably doing another test again, and maybe a third test, depending on how this first test goes, because we want to make sure that things are working smoothly. So please do that. I know it's a 3-day weekend for you guys, but please have your child do this because it's important to us. If we have 50% of the school, we don't get anything, then we think we have a lot of problems, and we might just have, maybe somebody just didn't do it. So please do it so we can test this out thoroughly. Also, we have next week our engagement review team. They're not coming, but we're getting reviewed next week. It's all being done virtually. This is the team that was supposed to be with us in late March, which we had to cancel because of when the whole COVID thing started. So this happens every 5 years. It's a routine type of thing with our accreditation. We're always all excited when they come in because we love to showcase our school and our students and all the wonderful things we have going on here. But they will be coming in not in person, but through Zoom sessions. So we're kind of a little saddened by that because we really want them to see our school. But because of the restrictions with COVID, this is just what has to happen. So there will be interview sessions that will be going on with some of our students, with some of our teachers, with our steering committee, our school improvement steering committee. Father Cook and some of our education steering board members will be interviewed in a Zoom session. And then we also have a group of parents that'll be interviewed as part of a Zoom session. So we're kind of excited that those things are still going to go on. And Mrs. Becker and I, we worked really hard all last year getting all kinds of electronic things ready for the team in March. So they have all kinds of evidence and documents of all the things that we do here at Christ the King. So they're going to see a lot of things, but it's just not quite the same. But and we maxed out their site when we sent all our things in. We had so much to share with them. So we just want to let you know that is coming up. And then the team will give us an official report at some point after the visit. It usually takes maybe up to a month before that really comes into play. And then I will share the team's comments and some of their recommendations with you as well. And we always love seeing that because we know we have a wonderful school, and it's really nice when we see other people that acknowledge that same thing. So we are excited about the team's reaction to our school, their comments, their recommendations. And like I said, I will just definitely share that with you so you know as well. Next thing I want to talk about is one of our own teachers, and this is Mrs. Heitoff. We had her as a guest not too long ago on one of our videos, and Mrs. Heitoff has been recognized as the Elementary Educator of the Year for the Archdiocese of Omaha. And this next Thursday will be a very special ceremony to honor Mrs. Heitoff, and she will be receiving her award at that ceremony. Unfortunately, because of the COVID restrictions, we can't have a lot of people there, so they've limited, I think, the entire event to like 50 people, and there's like 8 educators being recognized. So we will be, or that will be broadcast virtually on that day, on that evening. It starts at 7 o'clock on Thursday. And Mrs. Andrews is going to be including the link. We sent it out one time already a few weeks ago, but we want to send it out again with the update today, so that you can log on and you can attend that ceremony virtually. The Archdiocese also did come in here at the end of the summer. They interviewed Mrs. Heitoff. She did a wonderful job on the interview, shares a lot of her high moments as a teacher, what brought her into the teaching field, and some of her experiences here at Christ the King and just teaching in general. Really, really good interview. So I definitely recommend log on, to that link. Watch her interview. Watch the ceremony that's happening. Father and I will be going to that ceremony in person with Mrs. Heitoff and her husband, and we're very honored to be able to do that. We're very, very honored to have Mrs. Heitoff as a teacher here. We're very blessed with all the things that she has ever done. She's very humble about it, but we just can't say enough good things about her, can we? So we're really anxious about that. We're very excited about that, and we're very happy that Mrs. Heitoff is being recognized like that because she definitely deserves it. Speaking of great teachers, we have another guest here with us today. And this is Mrs. Martin, who is our school counselor. I'm going to ask Mrs. Martin to come in. She's going to squeeze between us here. And Mrs. Martin is, she's wearing a mask like we are, but she has a more stylish mask than we do. So she has one of the clear masks that you can kind of see her face through. And she'll talk about that a little bit more when she answers a few questions here. I'm going to ask her a few questions. And Mrs. Martin, it's really a pleasure to have you here and have you as our school counselor.
Thank you.
So first question is, with COVID-19 going around all around us here in the community, and really in the world and the country, and all the new procedures that our kids have to kind of see and experience and go through, there's probably a lot of anxiety, and there's probably a lot of maybe nervousness, just really overall, just because we're in uncertain times. So can you share with us any tips that might really be helpful for our students, maybe for our parents, or our parents to know about their students? Can you share any of that with us?
Sure. My first thoughts when I think of anxiety, the first thing I talk about with students is taking some deep breaths. And sometimes you think of with a mask, that would be really, really difficult. Well, as long as they are separate from other people, if they need, to take the mask for just a moment and put it back, you're not removing it from their face, just that little spot to take that deep breath. But whenever we talk about deep breathing, we breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. And I tell students a lot that is that you're smelling something like a beautiful flower, you're breathing, you're blowing out your birthday candles when you blow through your mouth. Another tip that I would share is to use positive self-talk. We've talked a lot about that in our counseling and guidance lessons, that if you come to school and you say it's going to be a horrible day, well, you're more likely to have a bad day. But if you come to school and say, I'm going to try to make it a good day, you're more likely to have a good day. And really, when we talk about the nervousness and everything that's going on, I would also have students just tell themselves, I feel safe, or I am safe, because your brain will believe that self-talk. or that it will be okay. It's something I use every day, and I'm sure we have lots of adults in our lives who use it too. So just remind kids of that. Another tip that I thought about was sleep. Sleep is so important. And I know with my own children, we had some issues with anxiety and things going on when we were home, and sleep was a factor in that. And so as long as your child is getting a good amount of sleep, that will definitely help ease the anxiety. Look at your bedtime schedule. We had to start one of those at our house. And so that's something that I would look at. Sleep is good not only for your physical health, but also for mental health. So just something to be aware of. And then my last tip would be to have your child talk to somebody. Talk to a trusted adult, whether that's, somebody in the family, somebody at school, their counselor would be a good person to talk to. But talking is so healthy, and not keeping all those feelings bottled up. And there's definitely ways we could make that work at school. Whether it's with me or another adult here, we would find the time to talk with the child about whatever they're feeling.
Okay, well, those are great tips, not only for our students, our parents, our teachers, Mrs. Becker and I too, certainly. So thank you for sharing those. We really appreciate it. And I just got to ask you one more question, because you did mention that students can come talk to you as a school counselor, and we really encourage that. And like Mrs. Martin said, we will make time. We will find time to make that happen. But if a student wants to come talk to you or wants to see you, how can they do that?
Well, and so I thought about that too, and I brought a way for students to get a hold of me. I have these blue notes, and really what it is, it's just like letting the counselor know that you want to make an appointment. And I have 2 mailboxes, not the faculty mailbox, but they're a counselor mailbox. I have one outside my door, and then I have one down in the middle school wing. And there are blue notes available there. Students just fill out their name, their grade level, and then maybe give me a couple words about what it is that they need to meet about. It kind of lets me know, is it something that's an emergency, or is it something that maybe I need to get the teacher's approval on, or does another student need to be there? It also helps if they remember to put the date on there. And then these go into the mailbox, like I said, and it's a locked mailbox. So nobody else can read their note, but this is available for all students. And then my other thought was, sometimes, if parents have a concern, the easiest thing to do is to email me. And I even wrote down my email, because it's a little bit different. I don't have the last name first initial. Mine is Martin, and then there's the M-E, because there are 2 Martins in the building. So I just wanted to remind all families that I do have Martin, M-E, and then at CTK Omaha. So just an easy way to get a hold of me, and then I can follow through and hopefully connect with the child.
All right. Well, Mrs. Martin, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Great information. We are just so happy to have Mrs. Martin here. She has done some incredible things in our school. She's only been here, well, really a year, a little more than a year now, but we look forward to many, many years in the future, and she really does some wonderful things with the kids, and she's very creative, and she is here to listen, and she's here to help. So please take advantage of that, and encourage your child. If your child mentions something or is having some anxious moments, encourage them to go fill out one of these blue cards and talk to Mrs. Martin. What they say, kind of stays with her. She's not broadcasting it to all the students or anything like that. But it really can be helpful. So thank you, Mrs. Martin, for being here with us. Before I turn everything over to Mrs. Becker here, I just want to acknowledge Mrs. Becker, because she doesn't know I'm going to do this. It's on my sheet.
It's not in the script.
Yeah. But Mrs. Becker has just really done some incredible things here in this school. And just to kind of give you some idea, she worked with me all summer planning all the startup scenarios, all the procedures. We went through so many things trying to validate every plan, every part of every plan, which plan to go with, what if this happens, what if that happens. I mean, she was just instrumental in doing so many of the things that we are doing today very successfully here in the school. She also coordinated our teacher training plan. We had a very intense teacher training plan for 12 days, and Mrs. Becker put that together. I know some technology, but Mrs. Becker knows a lot of technology, and really so much of what we were doing was technology based. And she investigated, experimented, tried, built training plans, just really was instrumental in putting the whole thing together, and it really has made a big difference. She also manages our parent volunteer program. So she's watching all the slots, she's making the notifications, she's checking with Mrs. Andrews in the office. We're trying to figure out, okay, who's going to cover what and what can we do? But she's doing all that, and that is an enormous job in itself, and it is so critical to our school. And she's just a key player in doing so many creative technology things just around the building, all the different things that have to happen, reports, bulletin boards, things like that. And she's also writing articles in the bulletin every week. She's highlighting a different teacher. She's the one behind all those words that makes that happen, gets with the teachers, gets the information. I'm probably embarrassing her, and I apologize for that, but I just want to acknowledge Mrs. Becker, because we always talk about our teachers and the wonderful job they're doing, but she is just truly a gem, and she is just so special here, and we're so blessed to have her. I'm so honored to have her as the assistant principal. So I didn't want to introduce her until I could say those things, so thank you, Mrs. Becker, for everything you do, and now I'm going to turn it over to you.
I know, so, I love being here, and I really think that Christ the King has been one of the best things that have happened to myself and my family. I think my children would agree. My husband knows that I'm happy here, and so he would agree. So all of those things are lovely, and the first thing I have to talk about is something that is kind of crabby, Mrs. Becker, before I get to the fun stuff. So in the summertime, when we started talking about wearing masks, we talked about Christ the King providing masks, and they're these fancy, white or light purple or light yellow for the sizes, and then we really wanted students to have a solid color mask. And they had one they were comfortable with at home. Certainly they could wear their mask to school and change into their own mask at the midday. We are starting to see some fun pattern masks creep in. And I love fashion as much as the next guy, but we really need to keep them solid colors. So please, talk with your kiddo and make sure they understand that, the checkered one doesn't get to go to school, but the solid red one can. We are going to start telling our checkpoints in the morning that if someone comes to them for their temperature check, with a tie-dye face mask, that they need to replace it with one of ours. And before we upset somebody like that, I would rather have on your end to have that conversation and just wear the right mask to school. It seems like a picky thing, but it's really about continuity in the school, and we don't want the masks to be the talking point of the day. Yeah. So it's just better to keep them nice and plain. So that's the only crabby thing I have for you today. I have a lot of fun with the summertime making the clues with the families, and then now we're doing kind of the question of the week. So I was excited to come up with the question that focused on our mission here, our theme, which is that we are on a mission. And Caitlin Benden emailed me with the right answer. She even explained, that Tom Cruise was in Mission Impossible movies, and she worked through her reasoning. It was a fun email to get. So I have another question for you, and this one kind of comes right off the theme. We're on a mission. Do you know what our mission is at Christ the King School? There are several parts of our mission statement, so I want students to email me and tell me, what are those parts? What are we trying to do here at Christ the King School that is at the very heart of our mission for being here? Next week, we are hoping that we're going to have this week's winner on our video with us. So hopefully I'll be introducing Caitlin Benden to you next week. And we'll reveal who, or 2 weeks. We'll reveal who comes up with all the parts of our mission statement the first in the student body. And that is all I have.
All right, well,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Mrs. Becker, for all of that information. And just once again, I want to thank Mrs. Martin for being here. I want to thank Mrs. Becker for being here, and thanks for all the things you do. I am going to lean on Mrs. Becker a little bit more here in the near future because I got a notification of jury duty as if we needed more things to happen. So on the 29th is when I'm supposed to start jury duty. That's the 29th of September. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know exactly what's going to happen other than I do have to call in. I'm supposed to be on one trial. So Mrs. Becker is going to be running this school for a period of time, possibly. Yes, I know, watch out. But anyway.
We're going to eat pizza and have pets in the building,
Right,
and ice cream at noon.
Well, that's why I have
Just
Mrs.
kidding.
Becker doing it, not Mr. Hardigan, because you never know what might happen there. But anyway, so if that happens, if I am out of the building, Mrs. Becker she'll do a wonderful job, but please just know that if you're emailing me, I may not be able to email back, and Mrs. Becker might take a little bit longer to get back to you just because of all the things that are going on. So
I'll be eating pizza and ice cream.
Right. So anyway, just so you're at least aware of that, hopefully it won't be too much that I have to do, and I'll be here in the building like normal. That's what I'm hoping, at least. So just in closing, I just want to say thank you. I mean, there's so many thank yous we can always say. Many thanks to our wonderful students. They are truly doing a remarkable job with all of this. They're wearing the mask, they're not complaining, they're following the procedures, and they're making things work here in the building. Thanks to our volunteers, our parent volunteers. I mean, you make having the school open possible. With all the things you come in to do, whether you're passing out masks in the morning, you're helping in the cafeteria, in the kitchen area, you're helping out supervising lunches, delivering lunches, all that kind of stuff. It really goes a long way, and it really helps make our school safe. It really does. Safe and able to operate. So thank you for that. And thanks to all of you for your incredible support. I mean, just the emails that we receive and the comments we receive, they're just wonderful. I mean, and there are parents that share some wonderful things about remote learning and the support they're getting from the teachers that way, the support they're getting in-person learning. Our teachers are really, I mean, they are each going way above and beyond by doing all these things. And, you know, we're just so blessed to have them. And we're so blessed to have you guys supporting us in that way. So thank you for that. And with that, until next time, just stay, oh boy, I can't even say it. Stay safe. Please don't take any unnecessary risks. Just be careful, and God bless.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.